Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Welcome to AWOL Weekly Monday. This is week 10. I am joined by Chili, and we're actually jumping straight into a game. And you've
Mm,
picked us a Traced versus a Ghoul Ring game, it looks like.
I know someone that wants to go quick against someone that wants to go slow. It's good to be here with you. I wasn't able to join you on the broadcast in the final for yesterday's tournament. Unfortunately, church commitments meant that I wasn't able to come in a little earlier because the games were quicker than we expected. Who'd have thought, right? Um, but it's good to be here. It is absolutely good to be here. Interesting that we've got the Grems coming out, but there's nothing for them to target if they were to play it from reserve. So we're going to see what ends up happening. I do believe it's probably going to be taken out by the Monolith Legate, as that is a card that Gulrang definitely does not want to see come out.
Yeah, that is the perfect version of the Grams as well
The
to
rare.
hit the Masectet. Let me see if this fixed things. I don't know how it got mixed up. Also, we should be live, but my chat on my end is not working for some reason.
Yeah, I'm not seeing
Must
anything. I'm going
be.
to say hello. I can see chats going in there. There's only one person, Insane 94, saying hello, saying we do not see the game. It is being worked on as we speak.
Yeah, you should see it now. It should have popped up. Let me see if I can.
Yes, it is. It's up and live now. We can see it on the screen. Good job, Kohlrabi. Also, not only do you do everything, but you're also an IT specialist as we're looking at it right here.
Yeah, there were some things that were not wanting to work. I think we're all up and good. I'll keep an
Yeah.
eye on it.
The only thing is, yeah, there we go. The logo at the bottom that shows, sorry, the progression and how many cards in hand. So that is now everything is up and running, looking fabulous, my friend.
Yeah, but why is my chat broken?
Um, your chat's not working on your end. I can see it on mine. You may have to go into open a
Yeah.
second window with the YouTube showing there. Trace is still on there for as correctly assumed. The Grems was taken out by the Monolith Legate, um, and that 2-0 progression is coming out. Let's see what we can do. Oh, and I'll say this from Trace perspective: from a landmarks or permanence, they're getting what they want. They're going to have their Haven Bravos Bastion, as well as their Keelon cylinder out and about.
This I love this card, Field Reinforcements. I
In
think
the
it
rare,
is I'll yeah, I mean, depends. I think because you have to play the rare technically in Ysmir. I think it's good. In Fortis, I think it can go either way. I think the rare or the common are good. Depending I mean, what I
for
would
Gurang,
do.
it's the rare, right? You've got to use the
Yeah.
rare, and I'm surprised you're actually giving some recognition to Ordis. Are you okay?
Yeah,
Did you
well,
have a
I
good weekend?
mean, Ghoul Ring, I'll play a little Ghoul Ring here. I'm definitely not a top Ghoul Ring player by any means, but personally, I would actually switch these. I would go common field reinforcements and go rare Templar. But most often, I think we see people running the common Templar, and I'm not too sure what other rares, Bull Ring is always running. I mean, there's
Yeah,
a Conjuring Seal, and there's a rare
yeah. Monolith
Legat.
Legate. Yeah, Monolith Legate has become a staple in terms of a rare because you have the ability of discarding it for to creating the 2/2
Mhm.
token for free, basically. So you get the benefit from hand, and then you're choosing to do something else when it's played from reserve. So I've that's a transition that's happened since this set. It wasn't the case earlier, at least not as far as had seen. But once again, we had seen very few Gurangs ever do anything in terms of major tournaments. Um, Interesting, the Sap Sniffer being played out. Now we are Traced is on the board, so they're going to be able to start getting their card advantage very much from day one. This is going to be a hard matchup though for Tracy, given how much look at you already seeing how many cards Gulrang has in their place. Calicio doing fantastic in being able to do what Gulrang needs to do in this matchup is get as many cards in hand as possible.
Hello to Insane94. Thanks for being here. I will pop out the chat, I guess, because it does not want to work in OBS right now, which is super fun. Uh, it's tired from the long weekend. It
It has been
was
a long weekend.
running 3 days in a row, so let's see. Yeah, Traced is. I mean, Traced is where Traced wants to be, but also Goring is exactly where Goring
Mhm.
wants to be. In that two behind, basically one on each side. So this
Yeah.
will be rather interesting. Goring has made it to some top cuts, but has not converted into even a top three, I think, but it'll happen. It's getting close.
It is getting close. In Dallas, it went really well in the top 8. I don't think they made it into top 4. They lost to the Acradi player, which was a ridiculous 1.5 hour slogfest for those 2 characters playing together. But we'll see. I think they have the makings of becoming the strongest, hero in Ordis, at least for this set, as we're starting to see Sigismar start to take a backward step in terms of their representation, at least in the major tournaments of late.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone should just give up on Sigismar and Waru
I
and
thought you were
try
gonna
out
say
some
jump for
Goring.
joy. I thought you were gonna say jump for joy. No,
Uh,
no, hey, us Siggy players, we're just, we've heard the complaints so much that we're just giving everyone else a chance. Um, that we had heard way too much of the complaining. So we'll see. We'll see when it comes to Worlds in October. What deck is going to win it? And it is going to be completely different with the new set as well. What is going to come out? Which heroes are going to get support? Maybe your Muna faction may become viable. While they're fantastic to play, they're just so many cards that just don't help them. They can really remove everything they're trying to do. And we're seeing Ordis Attorney, as we see Ordis Attorney be played out by Calicio on Gulrang, being able to draw. And really, once again, that's the aim of the game for Gulrang until they are on. And by tomorrow, by the next day, they will be on. And can they stop more progressions from our Trace player, who has basically now 2 tracks ahead on either side? Um, that's not enough. Oh, and we're seeing license withdrawal being used, getting rid of the Haven. Now, would you have gotten rid of the Haven, or would you have gotten rid of the Keylon cylinder?
this one's
A good question.
really hard. So it can give one boost before it needs to be tapped again just to gain the counters. Um, if I was thinking that there was a lot of reactivation of the Haven, I guess that would be
Hmm.
my number one target. As of right now, it's very hard to decide. I think I would have done neither because I am stuck in the starting area. I'm still playing with not progressing,
Yeah.
and there's a chance for Trace to get even further. I would try to get a progression if I could, but this Goring is going full on into drawing cards, setting up, doing some of the sabotage, and hoping that they can hold off the loss after that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And getting rid of probably the best card in the Axiom faction, hooked rare, drawing a card as well as being able to switch expeditions, as we saw, that allowed um, it allowed Juan JG to be able to win on one side. Now they're just 2 progressions away. Though, is that enough? What do you think? Do you think it's enough to be able to make it through, or do we feel that Gulrang is going to claw back all those lost expeditions they are behind?
I have not seen anything currently that would make me believe Bullring can come out from this, but we also haven't seen any uniques. And if Trace blocks here, they'll draw another card. They do have a lot of cards in hand. I don't know. I think it might be too late. I would have loved a earlier mobile armory for a progression or something
Hmm.
similar.
Yeah, and it's a question of whether people even use the rare mobile armory or if they're using the rare one, or they're just going by using the common. because the common won't give them the chance to lose defender. We're going interesting to see if they're using which of the two they're using because it feels like a very much a stall tactic rather than trying to gain a little bit of progression. Um, but let's see
Yeah.
what Traced ends up doing. What do they
I
want to do?
I know like stall, no hostage. I get you want to be behind at some points, but yeah, I do not play stall in any way, shape, or form. So
Neither do I. And we've seen our first unique come out, Keylon Elemental, 3/3 for 204. But because, and you may put a card from your hand in reserve, and I gain one boost for each card in your reserve. So they got the additional two boosts, and we've got a second Messick Tet come out. Now, that is trouble. It is trouble for Traced in that going forward, they're going to have to overcome a 4/4 deficit on either side, especially as they are already so far ahead of their opponent. And Dr. Frankenstein's a great card to be able to have as a backup there. Activate a +1 and you're going to be able to +1 twice. Oh no. Gurang using teamwork training to get rid of the Keylon Elemental, though they may they can still progress here. If they play the Dr. Frankenstein on the right-hand side, in the they should be able to get enough of a boost to be able to go forward. It's a 3/3/3 plus a single boost from the Keylon Elemental, but because you can activate Dr. Frankenstein, you get another boost on top of that that you can spread out. So they should be able to move by 999. Um, nice. Oh, they chose to use the bug out bag. Of course, that's also a strong benefit as well. Still being able to go over either of the two and get the 10-10-10 progression. Oh no, that's smart. See, that's why they're playing and I'm not. They ended up using the bug out bag and then being able to trigger the Keylon cylinder to give more options to get the counters for future days.
yeah, this is even with two Masectets out. I mean, Trace might have a hard turn here, being a little low on card advantage, but Traced is online. There is this Kellen Elemental that has both triggers from anywhere, and it is lined up perfectly on the stats. Removal for Ghoul might be what holds it off longer. We are only one teamwork training and one license withdrawal down.
Mhm.
But notably, taking out the Haven means that the boosts from the cylinder are usually coming at the
Oh,
end.
Gurang,
The
what a
spy.
great play. The spy coming out, getting rid of their game plan completely, being forced to play out the traced trigger straight away to be able to play something, put something in reserve. That was a rough go. That was incredibly tough for them. Axiom Salvager. Now, which side would you go for? Yeah, I was going to say, let's go into the companion side. The reason why I choose companion, oh, and this time they're getting the Grems, but it's only the common and a second order spy coming out, really disturbing the gameplay from Calicio to Juan and JG. I'm sure he's getting frustrated with this level of interaction that probably did not expect. Um, Nice. We can see Dr. Frankenstein. I'd always go on the right hand side because even if you, sorry, by the right hand side, I mean the companion side, basically forcing those messic texts to become non existent or invaluable after tomorrow. So if they do end up going twice, and it looks like they are playing the common mobile armory as I thought they would be playing in this deck that felt very much that store tactic till you hit your 8. Um, all
Ooh.
right, getting everything out. Although I guess wanting to put everything into reserve to get benefits, but
Yep.
we know that this is a 2-0 coming for Gurang and Calicio.
Yep. This having two spies out already, getting a Frank and an Amelia into reserve for the next day, and
Right.
seemingly making Ghoul commit a lot of resources here. I like it for Traced, and now the resource game that Ghoul built up is lessening.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't understand why the second one of them of the, mobile armories was played.
just for
Um,
fun. Sometimes
yeah, it's
you just
I
want to
guess
see.
just I mean, there was no benefit in doing it, and this is
Yeah.
part of the game to learn and appreciate of Altered is you only need to win by that one single stat. So playing cards is something you don't want. And I had Rinku for an interview as he started going through helping people prepare to face Bravos for a hero's guide to Asgartha for the tumults. And one of the things he said with Achati, he goes, one of the tactics that many Achati players need to learn to develop is play something that is expensive first to see if they can actually deal with it. And if they can't, then you can hold on to your other cards that are for future days. And that's a really good mindset that some people don't think about in terms of the order of play. Many people choose to play low to the ground first, but with a charty, if you can basically force them to say, "I'll let you win your one side," then you save a whole bunch of cards. It was really good insight from our US rep into Worlds at the moment. I'm looking forward to seeing who else joins him. But we are in the European tournaments right now. It's nice to see from yesterday, we got an Italian rep come out. And also, so we've got now, is it 8 people that have qualified? Is that correct? Or 7?
Oh, I don't know how to count. Two
Right.
people actually qualified yesterday.
And that's from the BGA European tournament. That was
Mm.
a decision made about a month ago, a few weeks ago, where they got given an extra spot. Um,
So four from Lille, two from over the weekend, which is six. One from the US, which is
7,
seven,
and
and
then 2
then
more.
was it one or
You,
two at Essen?
you had one in Essen, and you had the Dutch as well. So that's
Oh
now
yeah,
we have 9.
the very first one.
Yeah, that's right. So we've had 9 qualified already, 9 people booking their place to France, to Paris. It would be a brilliant trip. I wonder if, Equinox is going to ask you, Blue, or even me to help them out. Simon, all of us are, I'm sure we're more than willing to come and support in any way possible. If not this year, hopefully next year.
They'll let you go help support carry some equipment if you pay for your flight and hotel.
Yeah. That's the thing. Going to Paris is not the easy cheapest. I don't mind paying the flights at times. The accommodation is what kills you in Paris. And the food. My word, food is expensive. You Parisians are living it very expensive. And we're seeing the first unique come out from our Ghoul rank player. It's a 5/5 for 4/2/2, but the benefits of it is tokens you control are gigantic, and you get to draw a card upon play. Very, very nice, given they were coming down to having very little in hand. And I also honestly look at the stats that are out here. This is almost what Traced wants, and the reason I say that is it's going to force the Mesectets to become useless for the day.
Yeah, this is going to shut one of them off for
Hmm.
sure. So just use that
Oh,
hook
but one
to
side,
generate a
absolutely.
card.
Yeah, generate the
Yeah,
card, but basically, and then probably, I'm surprised they didn't try to trigger their Keelon cylinder to get more boost, but I guess they've got 5. That's more than
yeah.
enough.
Not getting greedy. You know, Juan is a very humble Brazilian out here playing traced.
Yeah, so I've got a connection to Brazil. So my parents got married in Brazil, and they went to Sao Paulo to get married. So while Chilean born, Australian raised, we are from all over the place. Living in the states now, living in close to where you were born, man, in the same state as where you were born.
True story. Yep.
Very
Yeah, I am the real Insane 94. That is me. Nice to meet you, Marv. Did you already have a clue which uniques might fit well to the new Axiom hero?
oof,
Yes, the answer to that
sabotage.
is
Oh no,
also
not sabotage.
yes. Sacrifice.
Sacrifice. There are
Yep.
so many sacrifice uniques that have come out over the last, especially in the first set. So much there that was useless in many cases until now. Looking very difficult for Trace right now to be able to progress purely because the strength of Atlas. And this is really one of the shortfalls that we're seeing in Axiom is they don't have much removal. Very little removal, and a third Messectet coming out. My word, that is tough. a boom would have come in very handy right now.
Yeah, they just cycled their deck, I just noticed.
Mhm.
The good thing for Traced here is that Hooked did move everything over to the companion side. Now it's just a question of, are there 11, 11, 11, or at least 11 water in stats for Traced here?
Y
The Sap Sniffer can
Yeah.
augment. The Amelia Earhart is really good.
I actually think
Oh,
they will.
oh my gosh.
A Merlin unique coming out. Fantastic. Scout 3, if you have 2 or more cards in reserve, you may send to reserve a number, any number. So he's getting rid of that, getting rid of the Atlas, and that is going to be game once they can do that because they'll be able to play out the Amelia Earhart for one or the Sap Sniffer and get the win if they want to, or just do nothing. Look at that.
Yep.
They played very, very comfortable in the end. What didn't look comfortable a few seconds ago became a huge win for Juan JG. Congratulations. Unfortunately, Calicio will hopefully see you in in the top tables in the future rounds, but it was not your day.
Yeah, it looks like Juan has been talking to Insane 94 and maybe Tempet a little bit. And I don't remember if I think the Merlin from the weekend had a different from hand cost, maybe. But this is a very similar Merlin where it has the avalanche ability on it. Yeah,
Yeah,
shout out to Brazil and hello, Caleb. Nice to see you.
of course, we got to mention Brazil. I love seeing all kinds of players from everywhere in the world. Not saying that we don't love our Frenchmen. The French are great, but it's nice to make the game as global as possible. Representation from all parts of the world. I'm still yet to see an Australian play, though. I have not
Mm,
seen an Australian play
I
in
think
any of
I've
these
seen it
AWOLs.
once or twice, but
Wow.
very, very rarely. Table 35 looks like it has some life in it. Oh, it's the opposite of the last game we just watched. It's a Traced that's very far behind a Sigismar.
Oh, you and look at you. And we're seeing Hat Captain Mark play. I do believe their compatriot made top four, right? One of the other HAT members in yesterday's tournament, Easy Lopez. Yeah, Easy
Yeah.
Lopez.
Yep.
So he's also from Team HAT, which I don't know what it stands for. Maybe you'll be able to clue me in a little.
I think it's Hispanic Altered Team.
Oh, there you go. Maybe I should join them one day as well. Can I have more than one team? I'm not sure. And we have seen two uniques out from Sigismar. We've got a 1-2-1-1-0 when another non-token character joins your expedition. If you control three or more characters, create an Ordis recruit soldier in my expedition. That's nice. That's the usual what you want out of Sigismar if it's not draw. Then the Axiom Salvager, you may put a card from your hand in reserve if you do resupply from anywhere. So it looks like it has been used once before and it's coming out again. Um, this is going to be tough for Trace to be able to progress. There is a lot of stats on the board on both sides of the field. Still one card in hand, two resources remaining. So that is definitely, well, not definitely, it's more than likely going to be played out by Sigismar. Um,
Oh man,
can we?
if it's a teamwork training,
Oh, geez.
that's a very good card to have in hand. But this reserve from Captain Mark is pretty wonderful. All of them are 2 cost. You have a Frankenstein, which can reactivate either of these landmarks, another Frankenstein, and if you just need the stats, another Anansi. The Sigismar is Victor Mata, a well-known Sigi player, has been on the hero for a while. I believe I actually am not sure if I saw him over the weekend, but I believe he's looking to compete or has in one of the others. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
well,
There's
it
so many
would
tournaments, they all blend together.
they do, and if not, I'm sure they'll be part of the Americas online tournament on BGA, which is happening a couple of weeks or 3 weeks. Um,
Yeah, 2 or something like that.
wow, let's
2,
see.
2 and a half.
What do we have here? 444 in stats. Oh, it's going to be very difficult for them to be able to win this out, given the water stat is where they are poor in the hero side for
Yeah.
traced. Um, And I think this will be oh, no, you know what? No, because they can boost.
Yep.
They'll be able to go win both sides and take it to another day using the Kilon cylinder if that's what they choose to do, because they can give a boost to a character in their companion side, which is what we are seeing done. And this is why Traced is such a strong hero. And in the words of Freeloader, the best of all the heroes in Axiom.
Well, Christ is not an axiom, so
Hold on, Traced is in Axiom.
no, they disowned him. You didn't hear this? Yeah, they said that he's too good to be an Axiom, and he doesn't feel like Axiom when
Yeah.
you play him
You've been
somehow.
talking to Loki too much, right? Loki,
No, no, Loki
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 must
would
be.
never say that.
Yeah, Loki's probably super upset that Axiom faction has started to have some level of success. But you know what? It's the balancing out of playing so poorly last season that it's nice to have this back. Have the sixth faction represented, though. I'll say Muna right now, as I said a few minutes ago, they're the least represented faction right now.
Yeah, from a results standpoint and just overall conversion, Muna
Mhm.
is definitely in the roughest spot right now. Really only one Axiom hero has consistently struggled and never really had their moment, which is Subash. I
Mm.
hate to say, but I think Subash and Arjun are both heroes that, unless they are specifically changed, probably just need to go away.
Well, I'm going to say, have you not? You've forgotten already that even yesterday and the day before, we had a Subash player go undefeated, I believe, 7 rounds. Now, the question is it the player? Is it the uniques? Or was it a game style that has started to become unlocked? I'm hoping the latter, in that there's a game style, there's a way of making it work, but getting rid of a resource early, lose something to gain something is very difficult in this game
Mhm.
when there are so many heroes. And once again, I'm going to quote Freeloader, who's going to join us and take my place after basically at the beginning of round 4. You know, so many cards give you the benefit of you gain everything. And we have a unique come out from Foundry Armor 42311. And there it is, create a brass bug token in target expedition when played from hand. And you may also put a card from your hand in reserve. Interesting.
Yep, I will
If you do,
hover
yeah.
that while I say hello to France as well. Yeah, it's not for lack of trying with Subash. I think it's just the hero ability itself, like you said, is just really hard to overcome. And why go through that extra trouble when you could just play Sierra or Traced, or you could play Tasia or even Rin,
And
which will
yeah,
be a lot more straightforward.
that's true. But you know what? Some people like the challenge. There you go.
Yep.
And I'm surprised you didn't say bonjour rather than hello. Come on. We can speak at
uh,
least a few words in French. If you're that connected to Equinox, come on, my friend.
yep.
And we have got the win coming out for Sigismar against Traced. So congratulations to Victor Motta 94 getting the win with against Hat Captain Mark. It's interesting that he chose to play always on the hero side, nothing on the right hand side. I guess you have to go for where your opponent is playing, but that was very tough for the poor man. It looks like we are. Are we almost at the end of round 1?
Yeah, we are actually firing up round 2 right now. Let's see if we have any
Yeah.
good stories.
So I'm looking at table 14 or 15, if that's the one that you would like to have a look at. Any of those tables, just for names that I'd like seeing new people and see new dynamics where possible. Of course, at the back end of this, we'll be looking at the top tables for sure.
Yeah, let me see one of these, what matchup we have here. I'm gonna go with table 15, and we'll hope it's a good matchup. That is a newer logo on the scene that I somewhat recognize. The glasses there. Once I get loaded into the game, I'll be able to see it a little better.
Yeah,
We're
it looks like
loading the art.
they're yeah, or I was going to say they're selecting their cards from hand, and that's what we get the the hold up for a few minutes. Oh my. Let us see. Oh, we've got an Acradi against a Sigismar, so a second time to see Sigismar with Hathor 44 and LJ Alkes, and with Basira. Basira getting the win yesterday. Um, so nice work for them.
Interesting. It seems like certain people can't load the stream, which is really weird. I might I hate to cut it and refresh it because then it'll split the VOD. I don't know. I'll see if I can tinker on the back end, but
Yeah, I
yeah.
I just tried again. It looks like I can. Um, there is all of a sudden some lag on my end where it's not actually loading, but it took a while and it is back up there for me. So not sure. The link works. Um, I don't know whether there's some bandwidth issues, etc., for some people. Um, I feel bad for them though.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's like a specific area of the world kind of thing. Because Freeloader and Pandy Andy said that they're not able to get in, but we obviously have people here in chat with us. But I did have some weird issues at the start, like with the chat and stuff. So maybe it's a YouTube back end kind of thing.
Mhm.
As for speaking French, I am trying to learn. It's just when I am saying it to people that actually do speak French, my accent is terrible. So I try not to say it out loud, and then whenever I try to use it in text, they're like, "Oh, it's okay. You can just speak English," because they probably know I'm translating half of it.
But you're probably true. And now we're seeing a great Haven bouncer come out and get rid of the Audis accountant that had already gotten 2 boosts from it. So, and we are now seeing, oh, the gift of self. This has become the new way of playing Sigismar is, drawing cards because we don't have the ability of doing it anymore just by playing cards with the draw functionality. Especially late game, it helps you so much later on. Gets to play out the Arcolano milk. I wonder what they're going to be looking to use the Arcolano milk at a future point in time for.
You know what it's there for.
But it's Basira, so you think it's going to be there for the hunger?
Yeah,
But it's still there's still it's still a long way to go before you can play a hunger,
you might
right?
as well just, just leave it there for whatever
Leave
you
it there and
need.
and play on the right-hand side, play on the hero side. You could be right. We're seeing hungers be used in every build that could actually do it. It is probably the most impactful card to have come out of Whispers from the Maze, but also I'd say the most frustrating card to play against because there is no way of defending against it once it comes out. Of course, we were talking to Justin over in 2 weeks ago in Dallas, and they were like, "Yeah, but it's expensive." You're right; it is expensive, but there are ways to make it very impactful late game. And we're seeing one of my. This is my favorite card, by the way. Jack Frost is my favorite card to have come out, um, so they can exhaust another card in reserve. Basically, but I think this is potentially forcing Basira to go on and play on the heroes. Sorry, on the companion side. What do you think?
I mean, it depends on what they have in hand and what their strategy is. They do have one Haven Serengar in the discard already. That's another thing that the milk can really be good for. Or a Fiore.
Oh, of course, exactly what we all saw coming. A unique Fiore. If I have one or more boosts, I am eternal. Interesting. At night, I lose one boost, and he gains one boost per character other than me in my expedition. Then send like that's just the regular one. It has a tough one though.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Now, the good thing for this Fiore is it could basically stay on forever thanks to Vasira's ability.
Yeah,
So,
this is a interesting tech that a couple people have
mm,
tried. I think Elio made a video about it a couple weeks ago. I was gonna say the really hard part here is now there's contention with the Bumblebee, but it does allow Basira to get a one for one here. Jack Frost is super cool, but I don't know why he would ever hang out with Ordis. Very unfortunate that they also got that card.
Yeah, it's a great card for Ortis because the rare is what comes across. So you have the ability of exhausting both from hand and from reserve. Very good. I'm really. I think this is great having the Fiore out. Just a complete different dynamic. Most people are not accustomed to. Um, I guess Sigismar does have the ability of getting rid of it if they choose to use license withdrawal. They can also get rid of it if once they have their four characters out and be able to use teamwork training, which I don't think is very difficult for Sigismar to bring out. Is having four, especially as right now they already have two without doing a thing.
Yeah, that's part of the reason I think Bumblebee has been a new inclusion in Sigismar decks. It's a body that, is going to gain boosts while in reserve. It's a one drop from hand, but then also it gains anchored when played from reserve. So boosting up your teamwork training, a lot of your uniques. But as you mentioned earlier, the Basira is going to keep slapping boosts on that Fiore. It does have tough one, so it makes it a little harder, but
Hmm.
really not that hard to get rid of in a day or two with license withdrawal or teamwork training or whatever
Hmm.
other very different versions of removal they want to use.
Well, teamwork training won't be able to affect it this turn unless they've got two one cost cards in
Yeah.
hand. And look, choosing to bring out the Legate and keep the Jack Frost in reserve for a future day, although there is nothing there they can attack right now when they become first player. But very interesting to see what ends up happening here. Right now, it's 2-0 for our Basira player. And we are seeing another beautiful, another sabotage come out, getting rid of the Jack Frost. Only able to be used once, and that is part of the gamble you play from not using your cards in reserve. And we are seeing the license withdrawal come out. We'll have to pay the tax if it chooses to go for one. Yep, it is getting rid of the Fiore. And we are seeing a one for one exchange yet again. The only difference here is on this time, the Monolith Legate is going to sabotage after rest, and Basira is left with just their cards in hand, making it very difficult. There's so much interaction with Ordis, with Sigismar. I can see why people get frustrated playing against it, but I love playing it.
You can see why, but you like being the villain.
I do like, well, come on. I'm a saint in everything else in life. I got to be a villain in the game. All right, let's see what Sigismar decides to do. Will they run the risk of another sabotage coming, or will they play out the Legate first?
Man, they're having good conversations in the main Discord when we're busy. What the heck is up with that?
What is going on? What's the conversation about? You're always in the know, so what little sneak peeks can you give those that are listening in, or will be watching this
There
later?
Yeah, I mean it is a good conversation to have in between thinking moments here, but there's a little bit of a debate and consideration with what the order of factions is currently based like in a tier system. So
Ooh,
Simon, the what is his official name? The AWOL operations director.
you've given
Uh
yourself titles?
yeah, it was I can't even remember why. It was for some funny reason. But he put right now from best to worst, it's Bravos, Ortis, Axiom, Lyra, Ysmir, Muna. And I think for the most part, I pretty much agree with that. I
Alright.
think
Who did he say is number 1? I'm just gonna just
Bravos.
Bravos number 1.
Yep. and then
and
Ortis.
then Ortis, and then
Axiom,
okay,
and then Lyra, Ysmir, Muna. I think the three middle are really hard, and depending on how you look at it,
yeah,
could maybe get switched around.
yeah.
I
I'd
just
probably put Lyra fifth over fourth right now.
yeah, I think the only reason we're gonna not see Ysmir do as much right now is because of the very common overreaction
Yep.
to nerfs, and people are gonna, leave Afanis alone for a little bit. Maybe take some time to figure out Akesha. Lindaway takes a special breed of person to spend time on, so she'll
For
just be
sure.
those specialties. But I just responded, Axiom is last under Muna if you take out Traced, because Traced isn't Axiom.
Sierra's still strong though. If they
Yeah.
don't have a removal, Sierra's like, and once its engine's on, you're stuffed. Um, I honestly feel that people have to take for a competitive game. You need to move away from Afanis just until you get your testing done. I think Afanis will still be strong. Um, but given we are in the tumult season now, as well as finishing off the competitive season for Worlds, you just don't have enough time to prepare appropriately. But you might once we get towards the very end of the season, and we are seeing one of Freeloader's favorite cards, physical training. With at the rare, actually, not just him. Also, I think Rinku loves this card as well for its draw ability.
Yeah, I think,
Oh my
ooh,
word! Look at that. I did not expect to see a Keylon burst. Wow.
yep. That, is very
Oh,
hard to handle. I mean, so
wow.
with the Kyran alone, you can still block this companion side, but then if you do that, you are accepting that your rare physical training is going to go bye-bye. So a
Mhm.
very interesting position that Harthor has put LJ, I think it's Alks. I think that's an L from Poland. Poland versus France right now. Very hard position. We were saying stuff before that, but that
Oof.
Kellen burst coming out just made me. Oh, the physical training. Yeah, I mean, just it's one of those cards where I think when you look at it, people avoided it for a while because it's 3 mana, which is a little high, and it's a rare slot. But when you just look at it and you take the time to read it, 3 boosts and you draw a card, it's like,
Mhm.
oh, of course that's good. Like, why did we not see that before?
Yeah, it's a fantastic card. I've been playing it since the beginning, personally, purely because I needed the card draw when I was playing Bravos early on, especially. Um, it's like I call it as the equivalent of the hooked for Bravos, because you're getting the card draw and the benefit of what is normally on curve for cost, but you run the risk of getting your character being taken out, especially now that there's so much options for removal in field.
Yeah, that's that's kind of why earlier I was like, it could be this, it could be that, it could be whatever kind of removal
Yeah.
Ortis wants to run, and then we
Hmm.
see we see the burst come out, which is
Yeah.
just another
Man,
option.
I it's crazy that people don't. As people start using more costed cards, maybe the burst will start coming back in. Maybe it will come in flavor again. But oof, and we're seeing a unique come out, another unique this time, a 21001 Paper Herald. When another non-token character joins your expedition, if you control 3 or more characters, create 2 Orders Recruit
Ooh.
tokens in my wow expedition. Very, very much in flavor. Both the uniques that have come out have the trigger when you have 3 characters out.
Yeah, I wonder if the
Oh, sorry, that was
accountant.
the other game last time that
Yeah.
had that one. Sorry, but apologies.
Yeah, I wonder if the accountant is going to be not used because of Clue. But probably good tech to be able to put this Paper Herald or other uniques to sleep, or any of the other tools that Sigismar might want to keep laying around.
Hmm.
A guy trying Aphonis is definitely going to have to change his deck. Yeah, I think the deck that I like to play with the Faunus and the one that Nick, your co-host, thinks he made up a while back likes to play. I think it still can be a good deck, and a lot of people are really abandoning it because Rhyme Frost costs one.
Yep, correct.
You could still
Um,
play the spell, you just can't loop it a bunch.
yeah, the exhaust mechanic's a little bit harder because normally, like anything that has cooldown that was a cost one would give it to you, not just Rhyme Frost. But you know what? People are smart. People are gonna make it work. Afanis as a hero is still incredibly strong. And
Mhm.
Guy Trine, thanks for the validation of my comments. You made me get an even bigger head than I currently have. So thank you. But I hope what it actually starts driving is more Akesha.
Yeah.
Um, I think Akesha, outside of its hero ability, is underutilized because Afanis was so easy to get wins with. But we'll see. We're going to end up seeing what ends up happening, and we are seeing another um, Haven bouncer. All three of them now have come into play, if I recall correctly. Yes, we do have three of them already in play. Wow, so many stats being brought out. It's ridiculous.
Yep. You have to be really careful to watch what hero or what characters are squished here, because I mean, hiding right in the middle here of this recruit sandwich is an attorney, and if you match them or make it so that they're not moving, they'll draw a card from that. And now I mentioned the recruit, and it's stuck on my screen.
Oh, that's so
Uh,
funny.
all right.
All right, the Audit Attorney, the Paper Herald, very, very cheap interaction. Um, wow, it's one cost from reserve for that Paper Herald is going to be golden uh, for them because they're going to get the boost. They just need to win by one. Um, it's a question of play out the occlute, force your opponent to play just from hand, but they're going to get so many. I think they can. It'd be tough. This is a tough one. Oh, choosing to play on the hero side. Okay.
Got that heavy water stat mixed with a pretty decent mountain. I guess, yeah, I guess like Germany and certain other countries are having a hard time seeing the YouTube stream.
Yeah, I think it it
And
it might be it has to be on that side,
mhm,
unfortunately.
yep.
Um,
Our Swiss brothers are not able to watch right now.
oh, I'm sorry about
Keelan
that.
Guy and Freeloader. So,
A VPN? I
um,
wonder if the VPNing in of some kind can help. I'm not sure. Oh, wow. And unfortunately, they were not able to top deck what they needed. And it looks like we are going to see another win by Sigismar. Who said Sigismar was not doing well? I love it. I apologize, LJ Alks, for your loss. Unable to follow and emulate the win coming out of BGA qualifiers yesterday, but well done to Sigismar. That's two on the trot we've seen, my friend. Two on the trot. Now,
yeah,
I'm,
well,
I'm
it's okay. They won't, oh my gosh, I clicked on another game that's, low in percentage, and it's Siggy versus Siggy, so, table, let's try this one.
okay.
But
I want.
why are you guys still playing Sigismar? Give it up.
Which table would you like me to go to?
Table 25, and I am actually gonna leave you solo for a moment and grab some
Nope.
water, and I'll be right back.
And here we've got Swan Ransom from Germany against Baba Mavs 90 from Italy. Well, fantastic. I love the logo from Swan Ransom. It looks almost like a little Jesus there. Uh, hopefully that doesn't offend anyone. I am Christian myself, so I can see the light in some of these things. No pun intended. And we are seeing Fen against Fen, a Fen mirror match. As I've said many times on stream, I believe the most under how would I put it? Probably the strongest hero that has had the least amount of conversions in terms of highly competitive wins. There is so much that they can do and so much variety in their gameplay, but we will see. So, what will both Fen players end up keeping? And of course, With Swarm Ransom, they are keeping both Anansi's because those get boosted beyond compare. And on the other side, ooh, we do see a Cloth Cocoon come out as part of their draw, a magical training, the Paper Herald 2 2 for 101. And when a card leaves your reserve during the afternoon, I gain one boost. And when played from reserve, you may have target character other than me lose fleeting. And we have also got in their reserve a common Lyra Contortionist, which can once played will not be able to recur as the rare one does, but they do not count towards their reserve. So really great and strong in the Anansi. If you have Anansi's in hand, but we will see what Baba Marv's 90 ends up doing. First card being played out is a unique Lyra Scald, 2 3 for 0 1 2. When a card leaves your reserve during the afternoon, I gain one boost. Really, really nice card there. And we're going to slow play a little bit from Baba Marv's, but also allowing those Anansis to get even greater boost by playing out the magical training from hand. All the cards that Swan Ransom does have the boost capability because when the Magpen Hoarder also comes out, if there are two or more cards in reserve, it gains one boost and gains fleeting as well. So not too bad there. Funny story in there in the history or in the lore for that card as well. The little hoarder stealing everything from camps. And we are seeing the Lyra Contortionist be the first card played. It does then feel that the Paper Herald may end up staying in reserve, awaiting what ends up happening post for the next day. What are we going to have? Who are we going to have here? Yeah, sorry, I don't know what's going on with the stream if it's lagging. I'll once we get Cole back, we'll see if we have to refresh it. But I'm sorry. I wish I knew, and I apologize. It's awful when you're not able to watch what you need. I have that issue with Netflix once in a while as well. Let's see what ends up being played. I don't know. It looks like okay, the Ouroboros Inkcaster going to be played. Really looking to potentially either bring back the Paper Herald or bring back the Magical Training. And we are seeing Acapella come out to basically give the Ouroboros Inkcaster the fleeting, forcing them to not be able to return a card from hand, which is what their goal was at the end during dusk. See, very, very smartly played. Swarm Ransom really thinking through what they're going to do. I love the unique that's come out. Very beautiful. The snowman. When my expedition moves forward, unless I'm in water, I gain fleeting. That's normal for the snowman. And when I leave the expedition, if I was fleeting, you may return a spell from your reserve to your hand. So, looking to see here, is it going to be the magical training? Is it a cappella training? And it has been played in a non water zone. So, therefore, it will gain fleeting um, if they move forward. So, right now, they are moving forward. Magpeng Horde are being played out by Baba Mavs. Really, really strong stats on the right hand side. I don't know if it's something that they want to match. It looks like we are bringing out the first of the two Anansis, getting all the boost to basically be able to almost tie, but it looks like one more character coming out, and we're going to get the benefit of a double progression and potentially the win from our from Swan Ransom. We will see. Well, almost got you back. It looks like you are coming back with a drinking hand. Hopefully, it's a good one. You're feeling nice and refreshed, my friend. I did notice the other day when we were together in Dallas that you had a tattoo on the back of your behind your ear. What's the meaning of that tattoo, my friend?
Oh, hello. Yeah, I'm back. Finally, yes. Yeah, it seems like YouTube in certain specific areas is having issues, but
Yeah,
not
it looks
overall.
like people are back again. Pandy's finally able to join us. Look, Pandy, I know you've stopped streaming, but we always welcome you on. It's nice to have you here. Hopefully, you're playing as well. Are you playing as well? We might have to see one of your games. Oh, it
I'm
looks like you
kicked out
got kicked
again.
out again. You know, oh boy, I feel sorry for some of our European cohort that is not able to play the game. Unfortunately, um,
I think they're able
I,
to play, just maybe not.
sorry, not play. They're not able to watch the stream. Have
Yeah.
you have you considered putting this on as a dual cast both on Twitch and on YouTube, or is it too difficult to do because of the managing the double messages?
It's not too difficult for Blue or I to do it. Um, but when we want to be open to other streamers and everything, it adds another element of having to train them on it and make sure they can do it because it is technically also more intensive on your system.
Okay.
And really, uh, I've been streaming on Twitch for like over 10 years and I really like Twitch, but for what we do, I actually really like it on YouTube. So I'm fine leaving it on there, but we've discussed it a time or two. Maybe it'll happen one day, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. As you know, I'm a simpleton. That's why I always take guest two on our cast to make sure I'm just here for the voice.
Yep.
Hopefully, no one gets too offended by my voice, but rather than doing the tech stuff, that is why I have Nick as a co-host as well on A Hero's Guide to Asgartha. He does all that stuff. I do all the prep work, and he does all the tech stuff.
Yep. I am a kind of a firm believer that there are things that are better on Twitch and there are things that are better on YouTube. And I think for something like this, it's just better on YouTube.
Mhm.
YouTube is also technically an easier and more widely viewable experience to like more people all at once.
Oh my word. Sorry
That
about
makes
that. We've
sense.
seen so much removal come out from Baba Mavs 90, but is it enough for them to be able to win? It looks like they can't. They cannot stop the progression. And Swan Ranson, as I've called his profile pic, almost looks like a Jesus, living it up and getting the win against the mirror match. Congratulations and good games to all.
Yep. I appreciate their name, a play on Ron
Uh
Swanson.
huh.
Absolutely.
Isn't it great?
Out of Germany, the German Ron Swanson. Hopefully they're, celebrating by sitting in a nice wooden rocking chair or something. We
I
might be going into round three. Let me check.
It looks like it has not loaded yet for round 3 as far as I saw. Looks like we may have one more game going on. We have got table 33 that should be close to ending. We can jump in there if you'd like and see the last bit of the progression. Breezy against Krizismak. Krizismak? I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. I apologize. Um, we are very close to the end. Actually, if yeah, it definitely is with a 16-16 hunger out. My word, that is insane.
Yep. I have to root for the Saudi here for reasons of just the who Breezy has picked as their profile image. So go at Saudi,
Hold on.
seemingly
Who
taking it
who is
down.
it? Who
Pretty
is
sure,
that?
pretty sure it's Chris Brown.
Oh, it's Chris Brown. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Brown's and yeah. I don't know what I can say without getting in trouble. So there you go. And we are getting the win by Chris Smack.
Yep.
Wow, 16-16. Man,
That
there must
should
have been
be.
so much on the board, and that should take us into round 3,
Yeah.
my friend.
And for your earlier question, it's just a D20, so it's a nat 20.
Oh, a
Um,
D20 dice. Is
yeah,
that what you
yeah.
mean? There you
Yep.
go. So you're really brought in. If you're tattooing elements of card games into your old card/board games, you are really into it. Where would you like to go now that we are towards the middle end of the round, so we can move to some of the top tables or close to the top tables? Anyone that stands up for you? Is there any Mooner players here that you'd like to see? Although
So,
if we can get Caleb on table 7,
yep.
I know that they're saying they're using Subash. If what they've put on the chat is correct,
Yep.
but they're not yet
I
on.
was literally just about to say we have Caleb in the chat. Let's go ahead and show them some love on the AWOL stream. Very well done event for the French stream of the qualifier over the weekend that AWOL hosted. whenever I had a chance, if I wasn't running things, I went over there to watch. Super cool to see them in studio, and also some of the players were in studio,
Yeah,
seeing their
didn't
view.
one of the players make it to,
Mhm.
basically got their booked their ticket and they were able to interview them? That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Well done. The work that you do, Caleb, is fantastic. Um, hopefully we all get a chance to connect one day, as people that love to make content and love the game.
Yep. Insane 94 was also there as a caster, and on the first day, I think it was the first day, he was dressed up in he called it Axiom attire. I don't know what the costume was actually for, but it was cool. A lot of them were dressed up. Pavania was dressed up as the tracer, I believe. Had like
Oh,
purple
cool.
highlights in her hair. Yeah, so it was very cool. Very nice to see. And we're loaded in, and it is Subash
We've got
versus Trace.
Subash against Traced here. Now, is there any chance for Subash? What do you think? Can we at least get 2 progressions for Subash? I think that's a win in and of itself. Caleb, no going at you here, but a unique's come out. Amelia Earhart 2-2 for 2-2-2, stopping the double progression, though, unfortunately, by playing out the Hooked, which, as we've said many a time, the best card in the Axiom faction, and probably the card that best represents what they try to do.
Yeah, so it's for me, it's not a thing of saying like Subash could never do well or just won't do well. It's more of like if you like the hero and you like the play style and you're
Mhm.
committed to it, that's super cool. I mean, we saw Phobia, who's been committed to Atsadi since day one and did really well with the hero at Dallas. It's more so I personally just think there are too many requirements
Mhm.
for what you get from the hero ability when if you're playing Traced, you get a very similar style of hero ability with basically once you get it online, zero, you don't have to pay for
Yeah.
anything really.
No, I think one thing that they do have going for them, in the for Subash is really if you can get the robot boosts functionality, then it works better than any of the other heroes because you're automatically going to get the +1 on something you've only spent one resource on. But you're showing your hand in a way that no other hero has to. So it makes it very difficult. Actually, and at a cost to you, unlike with Fen and Crowbar, which is not at a cost to you. You actually get the benefit of that additional half card. But let's see what Caleb can do. They're great as a caster. They're great on stream. They're great interviewing. It looks like they're also pretty strong as a player too. So we're going to get a chance to see how this ends up working out.
Yep, and to the credit of the game designers for Altered, they maybe one day will find a way to prove me wrong about Subash. I will say they did exactly that with Atsadi. When I
Mhm.
tried to play him before, I was like, "This is literally the most unfun hero to play." Because it just felt like nothing for 95% of the game. And then Whispers came out and I was like, "Well, shoot. They found a way to make it actually enjoyable and now pretty competitive." So,
Yeah,
it
Achadi is incredibly competitive. I like even though Basira ended up winning yesterday. I feel that Achadi is probably the second strongest hero in the Bravos faction. Um, Purely because of their ability, and I like to call it basically after you, but after you at a higher cost. um, but we'll see. We'll see. Look, Bravos, I'll say, we're not representing Bravos here, but they're the only faction that I think that all three heroes have got a chance at winning a game, winning a tournament. Um, I would not say that, especially maybe Sigismar pre-nerf. If sorry, not Sigismar, Ordis if Waru wasn't nerfed. But we had a Waru make it into the top cut yesterday with their fantastic play, unbelievable work to make it that far. I wish they'd made it further just to show that there is some viability in that hero, but it was not to be. Now we've got a unique also in play from the War Scout 203. When you play a permanent, if there are two or more exhausted cards in reserve, I gain one boost. And if you control a fleeting character, which they didn't at the time, your characters other than me have played when they played from reserve, I gain one boost. That's not bad actually,
Yeah.
given it's cheap for traced is almost on, and potentially you could even get traced on if they decide to use the quick ability, choosing not to, making it a one for one, keeping it nice and fair up until now. Now that the fairness is gone out the door, the moment Trace hits his fifth counter. We got asked the question by Insane94, how was the stream on our side, the BGA qualifier for the US one? You were there for most of it. How was it for you? And then I'll talk a little bit my sadness as well.
Yeah, so it went a lot better than we could have even expected. I think the really the biggest complaint that we saw was around how the chess clocks work in BGA, um, which I feel like there was also a misunderstanding of what I was saying the only two options are. One, you submit feedback to BGA and ask them to change how the chess clocks work
Yeah.
to whatever you think would be more beneficial. And if enough people support that and upvote it, then BGA will look to change it if
Hmm.
possible. Two, the only other option in my mind was you really just hate, the whole thing in general and think BGA isn't a good platform to use for a world qualifier, and you let Equinox know that, and then they don't do any more on BGA, which in my mind is a
The
very
worst.
terrible
That's the worst
option.
situation for the majority of people.
Yeah, I think it is absolutely great to see that over 1,200 people were able to start to compete, maybe compete, play in an event, no matter where they were in the world, and there will be two more of those, and they had a shot at doing that. And even all things considered, with it being the biggest event ever hosted on BGA, the lag and issues technically were very, very minimal. So yeah, overall very great. And the fact we split it into 2 days was amazing. It made it way better than doing all of it in one day, and I never wanna do all of it in one day again.
Yeah, I think the split was really good. The cast was great. I think the handoffs and the way that yourself, Simon, and Blue worked on the logistics was really strong. Um, the hard part was, at least for me, is like I was scheduled to actually stream the semifinal, and unfortunately, because of the people finishing their games earlier, I wasn't able to. So I missed out on something that would have been amazing for me. But from an overall experience, I think all the casting team did a fantastic job. They were all excited, and I think when you're hearing it and when you're watching it online, if they're excited, it makes it so much more pleasurable experience. And everyone brought in different insights, and I think that's one thing is we have a very well rounded team to help on that. The issue that you raised though is very unfortunate. I wished, because of the additional changes and the triggers to the end of day, I wish that in some cases when you've lost, you lose, you don't have to draw down to two,
Yeah,
and that is something that I think many people, if it bothers people, you have to make those requests through BGA to say, can we change that?
yeah,
And then, as you said, if people can upvote it, then it can actually occur. Because I think you can look at it both ways. One person, are they trying to screw the clock and basically force someone to lose because they're down on time? Or did they just leave the game thinking they'd lost? Because that's happened to me in the past, both whether I've won or lost and just left without knowing I had to do a couple of other things or forgetting that I had to. So hopefully it was the latter by mistake rather than trying to be dodgy, trying to be a little bit take advantage of the situation. But the cast went, everything went well. One thing I wish we did is what we had the French guys do in having people in the room, but we've got basically the whole English world. We don't have that functionality of those people in Paris getting together um, and interviewing people that way. But it was a really well done cast. Felt very good. It also felt good in terms of its time, as you said. Like the
mhm,
6 7 hours is it did not feel as long as it was when we did the other tournament for the championship, and that was like 10 hours. That was rough
Yep.
for the qualifier, for
Ooh.
the online qualifier. And we are seeing, and we get back to the game, the refinery coming out.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm seeing this more and more, and but I'm still baffled in terms of its use. Um, Traced, I get it, especially at the rare for 2-2. But I guess we're going to get a chance to see what they're doing. But on the other side, Subash is not only keeping up; they're doing well.
Yeah, this is very cool to see the refinery. It just seems like really good value when you read the card itself. It is in rare in this version, so taking up a rare slot. I'm not sure what other decisions were made. We still see a lot of the really good rares. I think Salvager is also not even always at rare. We'll see that at common. So very, very interesting
Hmm.
here. And yeah, the last note on the time, yeah, the players actually played fast for once the second day, so we
I
were
know.
way ahead of schedule. What the
Yeah.
heck?
And I was at church and I'm like, "No, no, don't do this." And you're like messaging me saying, "What are you doing on your phone at church? Come on, man." But at the same time, like I'm invested. Like I wanted to be there, but I also wanted to be there with my family at church,
Yeah.
right? And we made the call to let someone else come on stream, and they did fantastic. They did. I believe was it Gus? No, no, it wasn't Gus. It was
Malmolian.
Mamolian. Mamolian was meant to do it with me.
Okay.
I'm trying
We
to remember.
yeah, we had
Yeah,
Gus, Geo, and
Geo. It
Malmolian,
was I
and
think it
they
was Gus or
just
Gio. Yeah.
yeah,
So good job.
clicked around a little.
Everyone did a fantastic work job. So hats off to you guys organizing it. Hopefully that doesn't get me into the bad books and I'm not allowed to join at a future date.
No, 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 no bad book, no bad list. Very well, I mean, if you're listening to this now, we're always looking for people to help out, and it's very much an open, like if you're willing to join and read through the information and learn how things operate, then
Mhm.
we're happy to have you. So you'll see some new faces in the coming weeks. Maybe for the next qualifier, you'll see some new faces. And yeah, I would love to do one in person one day. Maybe next year for the North America BGA qualifier. We can make that happen. Would be super cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That would be awesome for one of the two. Or maybe we'll get two positions on BGA in North America like they do in Europe as well. So who knows? Who knows what ends up happening? And we're still seeing Subash be very, very strong on here. Now, the difference now, this is interesting. So we now have the refinery basically be online if they choose to do it to give an additional 3 boosts to the Grems so they can get the 1-1. But that means they're going to be starting fresh again. Um, it's a question of I don't think they can win on both sides by sacrificing one of their permanents.
Yeah, they would
So
be three short
yeah, they'd
about.
be short. So, but at least they'll be able to progress. But it's a 2-1 progression, not a single progression. No, they are going to do it. They want to make sure that they get a 1-1. And you can see that by Goten. Really, really smart work. But unfortunately, now they don't have the Haven as an option for tomorrow.
Yeah, very interesting choice to sacrifice the Haven instead of the Refinery, which already kind of put its work in. But maybe there's another one in hand, and a Haven from hand is sometimes better than a Haven just already sitting there.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, they need
very
something that allows them to resupply because they're not going to get the benefit of the refinery if they don't get 2 cards in reserve.
Yep. Very cool decks on both sides. I'm glad we were able to hop into the game from Caleb here. See how a higher tier Subash can be built, and we'll see if it wins out here against Trace.
That's right, and high praise for Caleb, a high tier. Look at that. Congratulations, Caleb, getting the recognition from Kohlrabi there. Oh, rough. not getting what they wanted in that from that haven though.
It looks like some of our friends over in Germany and surrounding countries are able to make it into the stream. So, hello. Yeah, there was some kind of server issues or something
Yeah,
uh, that affected certain
yeah. Well,
countries.
thank you for joining us and for sticking with us, Pandy Andy. And I believe that's Gnome School, using his native German name on the Nomen Schul, on the server there. So welcome. Glad to have you guys back on. And for I love Pandy Andy is never short of providing comments, all of which are predominantly very funny. So thank you for the entertainment. As we're seeing here. So let's see what ends up coming out. And we have got that recycling of cards in reserve once again, getting the benefit of the counters. What are they going to use it on? Looks like it, I wonder if they're all going to go on the Amelia Earhart. A one cost 555, potentially a 666 coming into play. Ridiculous.
Yep. I'm
Jeez.
really enjoying this little interaction here, especially with cards like Sap Sniffer and Amelia Earhart. You cast so many games
Oh,
that it's nice to see, something new and fresh and kind of surprising. And both sides of this game are
yeah.
exactly that. So it's very cool.
And Goten being able to block out Caleb from progressing and now taking the lead. You never want to be behind a trace player. Basically, all they need to do is flood the board on one side and they will have the win. But let's see, is there any removal? We have not really seen removal at play yet from either side.
Yeah.
Um,
At most, we've seen
Tinkerbell.
a Tinkerbell from Caleb here. Grems are sleeping at the end of my deck, says Caleb. Uh,
Oh, this is fantastic.
yeah. Sometimes I wish we could show the table chat on stream, but there are very
There's very
rare
limited spaces.
cases that too. There's limited space, and there are very rare cases where we would not want the chat to be
Yeah,
on
I'm
screen.
I'm I'm sure. I have you ever spoken to Caleb before?
Uh, no, not really, no. Over DM very, very
Okay.
briefly, but
Do
not
do they speak English?
everyone in France speaks English, so of
Okay.
course.
So Caleb, well, I think one of these days, if you are up for it, I would love to have you on my cast on A Hero's Guide to Asgartha, to have a chance to talk to you about the French game from a perspective of what people are doing outside of the infrastructure of the day to day. Because you're doing something very unique, and maybe we'll connect afterwards if you're up for that. I'd love it. I love talking to anyone and everyone about this game,
Yep. Would be
including
a very good episode.
yeah, including today. Like I went and purchased one of those microphones, the portable microphones, those little ones that some people will end up using for casting for interviews.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, what are you using this for?" He's like, "Well, I do a podcast, A Hero's Guide to Asgartha, for a game called Altered TCG." So then he goes, "Hey, can I have a look at it?" He looked at the podcast, he looked at the game. He's like, "I might play this," because taught him about BGA. It's free. Cool, really fun.
That's cool. Also, another reason that you can pronounce Gnome School's German name well is because you had an episode with Gnome School, and that's how I learned that there might be some overlap with them and some of our musical tastes. So that was also
Oh,
a good
cool.
episode.
Gnome School, fantastic art though. My goodness, I absolutely love the thematic way that he's done everything. I'm looking forward to what he's going to bring into for season 4. I've got all I use his tokens. I've also got the token ladies, Kari's tokens as well. Giving them away here and there as well. Like I always want to keep ones, and Gnome School I was lucky enough that he signed one copy of each of those cards for me, so I can put up on my wall. Eventually, you'll see it behind me somewhere around this mess. So
Yeah,
it'll be
get
done.
that stream room going. Hooked didn't
No.
necessarily need to win the game there, but it made it a lot more handy. There was a one water stat advantage to
Mhm.
Caleb here, but the traced with Refinery wins it out just
Yeah,
barely.
the refinery starting to make me feel that it is much more viable in the way Goten did it. Congratulations to Goten. Fantastic work there. Now that dog I have seen before, right? He's from a Cartoon Network or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's,
Hmm.
from Adventure Time. I
Adventure
forget
Time, that's what
his
it is.
name, though.
All
Yeah,
right, we are getting close. I'm trying to see which
Adventure.
game has got a fair bit of life left. We have got table 38. It is going down a little bit. Table 38 has less than 50% progression. What do you think?
As long as it's not something terrible. Let's
Uh,
see.
we've got an Akesha against a Ghoulrang, and
Alright,
the Akesha's got the hunger out.
that
Nice.
sounds as long as there's no Cata then it sounds interesting, and,
Yeah.
something you mentioned a little earlier about maybe we'll see more Akesha. I hope that we do in a more, like, actually building a good deck way other than building
A
something
hostage.
to yeah, just, uh,
Yeah. I
destroy the whole game.
I'm not a fan of hostage style decks, personally. I just the same way as I'm not a fan of the bug fix style game. Not that like it's legal, of course, but it's boring and slows down the toing and froing dynamic that makes this game special.
Yeah,
When they're just doing an after you basically one and putting a bug wherever they want, and again and again and again. But on the other side, if you deck build appropriately against bug fix, you should be able to find your cards to remove what you need to. And on the Ghoulrang side, so here, two atlases that are just ridiculous. Tokens you control are gigantic, which is what they're really looking for. Um, and I don't know. This is going to be hard for poor Akesha unless
yeah.
unless they've got something. Um, at least anyway, if they end up losing 2-0 today, then on the other side,
Ooh,
more than ooh,
the hypothermia was just sitting right there, we
look
didn't
at that.
even
Hypothermia,
notice
making
it.
it fall asleep. If anything, that actually fills the purpose that Akesha does want, because it means that it'll be a 7-7-7 next day as well. The unfortunate part, and the fortunate part is Messektet will be offline. Um,
Yeah,
from so they're not going to get any tokens. So the benefit of the tokens you control, gigantic, are nothing until they start playing cards that give them tokens, which they might.
yeah. What's really interesting about both of these atlases is on face value, you look at them and this one you have to control 4 or more characters. This one you have to control 4 or more. This one that's currently asleep, it says when another non-token character joins your expeditions, if you control 4 or more, resupply. That
Mhm.
is very, very interesting. Unfortunate that it's non-token, because if it was token, it would just be going wild, but still very interested to see how many times this Goring is going to be able to resupply once this is sitting there and they build up some more.
Yeah, very. Thank you for clarifying that. I didn't notice that. I'm so used to all tokens, all those benefits. And we are getting close to the end of round. We just got to make sure that Freeloader is getting ready to be able to join us in a few minutes, and taking over my spot while I get back from this lunch break. And we are seeing the benefits. So a resupply is going to come out. The resupply is a mobile armory, very well used. While they won't allow them to give another boost, sorry, another resupply, it is very, very much what they are looking to get. Okay, getting rid. And now we're seeing a Tooth Fairy come out. Of course, the main target being that Atlas, so that we don't get a chance to bring that out as well.
There's so much resupply that can start happening now, though.
Mhm.
Ooh, and a staff clerk?
Oh my goodness,
Nice.
and the third Atlas that comes out. My goodness, do they have another, Tooth Fairy in play?
Rhyme
Rhyme Frost,
Frost.
okay, that works as well.
I kind of want to look now and see if I have
Yeah.
any Atlas uniques. I think I have one, but it's not, or maybe I just used rare in my gold ring. obviously, it's gonna be far too late now to pick one up.
I've
Um,
I've got an atlas that that makes my tokens gigantic, but and then I've got one that doesn't. So, but these are really strong ones. I love the resupply. That's so good. Oh, and great work bringing out the Isitok. Your other expedition and the expedition facing it can't move forward. So, no matter what happens, neither the benefit of the staff clerk or the benefit of the atlas are going to be important for them on that side.
yeah, the hypothermia, well, one of them is down already. I would think they want to look for another to keep the Atlas out. Or now that we have this one in reserve, maybe keep the staff clerk out and just keep
Mm.
pumping out tokens, or maybe both.
Yeah,
1 mana from hand, 3 from reserve. They have 6 mana right now. They could do it.
crazy.
Talk to me is not as horrible as long as it's not, the double or triple Isatok unique, locking down both sides. In general, the card is interesting, like just shutting off the opposite expedition. But yeah, when it goes into these hostage territories, I am also not a huge fan.
Basically, going to stop the hypothermia from taking place yet again. Um, that's some smart play. Basically, going to force them to keep only one of the atlases, potentially the hypothermia. I'm not sure what else they're going to keep, but there's a lot of cards from our oh my word
Ouch.
license withdrawal coming out.
So I
Oh,
know before the most recent patch, you were betting on Masectet being changed.
I was.
I Yeah, I knew it was never gonna be happening, at least not this soon, and probably not even on the watch list. But you know what is kind of crazy when you think about it? License withdrawal.
Yeah, I'm surprised. So we were hoping license withdrawal would be removed or limited. Sorry, when we did our interview with the team at altered TCG.blog on our thoughts and predictions, we assumed that license withdrawal would that like it costs so cheap to remove so
Mhm.
much. Were they going to put a limit on how much it could actually get? Maybe only go something that's 5 or 4 on either side, both a character or but it wasn't the case. They chose to um keep them all in play, and we're seeing how strong it is, especially in Gorang, especially in Gorang, who has the ability of just getting tokens out that are so much higher stat and allowing that late game to come into play. So we'll see. We'll see if that changes. I'm sure there's so much complaint that it may actually change, but we're also not seeing any of the Orders heroes win as much this season.
Yeah, I think what makes license withdrawal I feel like every time I say the card name, I say it very southern, and I'm technically not even from the South. But anyways, I think what makes it maybe okay as is. I mean, I can understand it's frustrating. I mean, I play
Mhm.
Muna, but I try
Oh
to look
yeah.
at things from like an objective standpoint. Both the common and the rare are fleeting. So when you use your three, in most cases, you've used all three. And the rare, while it does get cheaper, does enable the hand cost limit. I think if it were to be changed, if it became too much of a problem, like statistically and everything, I think maybe the common would just be one or the other. Like they would remove one of them
Oh.
instead of being able to do boosted characters or permanents. It can only do one.
Oh my
Um,
word. Sorry about that. I'm just seeing all the crazy delay
yeah,
tactics being played out by the Aegis Templar and Gloops 27. Yatsukino unfortunately getting the loss there, but I think they played really well to try to get something out of here. But those unique atlases were just incredible in terms of what the value it gave them for so many turns. Like, congratulations to Gloops 27 getting that win. Sorry, I didn't mean to stop you.
No, no,
Um,
you're good to keep me on track of the game because I can just talk. I
me
know
too.
you have to head soon. I think there's a question for you specifically in the chat here.
Okay. I have a question for Chile from Chile. De ser así, when, how are you, man? Buenos días. I should talk a bit in Spanish. I was born in La Serena, and lived in Valparaiso before my family moved to Australia many years ago. Hence the name. I know when I was in Dallas and I purposely chose to wear my Chilean national team shirt. Some people were asking, "Is this man for real, or was his name just something else?" No, I am 100% Chilean born, and unfortunately raised in Australia. No, not unfortunately, love Australia, but I love my heritage too in Chile. So looking forward to joining you guys in the LATAM tournaments one of these days as well, either on cast or playing. I know you've been there as well and helped them out, or at least joined the chat, haven't you?
Yeah, no, I cannot take any credit for helping the LATAM guys, but I try to support all around and keep connected to each of the branches of Altered, and we are hoping to have some form of a Spanish broadcast for the next World Qualifier, whether that's a stream directly here on AWOL, because another benefit to YouTube is you can actually run multiple streams on the same channel, or we just promote where they are streaming. We wanted to do that one for the EU, but their main stream group, one of them had to work and another had some other commitment. So, yeah, definitely look forward to that, especially if you prefer listening to altered commentary in Spanish.
Mhm.
That is definitely a goal. So,
That's cool. That's awesome. That's good to hear. Well, I'm going to bid you farewell as we transition to round 4. Freeloader will be joining us shortly. It's been a pleasure. Always good to see you, and finally got to meet you in person. Got to be one with the rest of the team, which is great. Good luck for the rest of it, and for those that are listening, if you ever want to hear myself or Nick, you please join us on A Hero's Guide to Asgartha. The focus for the releases this week are on helping people prepare for the tumults, where we're doing a faction we're doing a review of each faction, and you will be helping us with Muna. So we've got to find a time this week to get that one out there. We have already released Axiom, we have released Bravos, and we've released Izmir, and we've got 3 more to go. So interesting to hear what you will say about the Muna faction and what to expect or not expect in the tumults.
yep, definitely. Thanks for joining me. I'll go ahead and get Freeloader in here. Have a good rest of your work day,
Thank you
and
very much. You too.
I'll see you again soon.
See ya. Bye.
All right, I'm gonna go edit some things here so we can get Freeloader in. Let's see, Freeloader, where are you? Do let's that is Discord. Of course, it's not the same. And then YouTube. We'll get the YouTube in here. Then I have to at him real quick. Let's see. Go ahead and hop in guest 2. All right. I am sorry that there's some weird server issues across the world. There's also a couple services on things that are down. I think there's like a cloud provider or something not working currently because there's some other websites I've noticed that are down. But we'll get Freeloader in here in a moment. I'll go find us a game to pick. let's see here. Where where is guest two? Silly freeloader. Duh, 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 duh. All right, let's see. What do we have? We're on round 4 out of 6. Let's see. I have a bunch of undefeated players, so we can kind of look around here and let's see if I can find something. Did Insane leave already?
Hello.
No. What's up? How
Am
you
I here?
doing? You are here.
Nice. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, good. All right. We've got you connected, the good old front loader. I am going to table 22, Insane 94 versus Mochi Senchi. Uh,
Mm.
do you need links to anything?
Nah, I'm at the table. Unless you
All
want me to
right.
have some other kind of link. I'm good.
No, you are good. Just making sure you're able to get connected. We're waiting for people to get established into the game here and pick their decks.
Yeah, with round four, yeah. What have you seen so far? I wasn't able to watch the stream for the first couple rounds, unfortunately. For whatever reason, YouTube was not being cooperative.
Yeah, I was telling them before you joined in. There's got to be some cloud server issues or something in certain areas of the world because I think some of the other third-party altered sites are also down right now.
Hmm,
So,
interesting.
yes, it is round 4 currently just started, and we are here in a Sierra versus Basira match. And I'm now joined by Freeloader. How you been? What you been up to?
I've been good. I had a bit. I woke up feeling very weird on the Saturday, and consequently, I did pretty badly in the WCQ, unfortunately. But I am back here now and feeling good. Been testing a couple of NUC decks these past couple days, so that's been fun.
Interesting. Yeah, if I decide that I have the time to compete in the NUC, I just take one of my current decks and duplicate it and then remove the uniques and just up quantities of other things. So
Yeah, that makes sense. I wonder how many people do that as well. I've been trying. I mean, you'd like what I've been trying. I've been trying a lot of green stuff.
there you go. See if you can get the stats up. Well, I mean, Arjun is technically one of the most winningest
The
heroes, right?
strongest hero in the NUC according to stats,
Right.
which is quite something.
As of this tournament, we've seen a couple Siggies. There's a handful of them still out there trying. We saw a Trace versus a Subash, very interesting matchup, and the Trace had a Refinery out. We saw a Fen versus Fen momentarily. That was interesting. And then the last game we just watched was a Kesha versus Ghoul, I believe.
Oh,
I can remember that. But gathering cards, I'm sorry to hear that you didn't get the notification. Whenever I'm playing in a tournament, I try to watch very, very closely. And if I'm not getting a pop-up when the round should be starting, I think I'm always, F5,
refreshing. Yeah.
refresh. Yeah. So, and I also watch the stream at the same time, so I know when about things are gonna end.
Yeah, it's definitely it has happened to me before as well that I've missed a round start and it's a bit awkward. But looking at this game, first card played for Insane, already a unique, and it is one of these Copelias that has the text box of when I go to reserve from the zone, you may play me for free. And those ones, as opposed to the ones that you may play when they go from your hand to the reserve, they are so incredibly strong very often. And yeah, day two, Insane's just going to be already starting with an advantage, and that Copelli is going to stick around for quite a while.
Yep. Insane, notably, as I have mentioned, was on the cast team for the BGA qualifier over the weekend. Also did really well in a couple other tournaments throughout the year. And I think we can, blame entirely Insane for the bug fix fiasco. I'm sure he won't
No.
mind us blaming him for that.
Well, I'm sure he wouldn't mind, but there were definitely a couple others as well that were quite involved in the bug fix fiasco. There were a lot of people brewing on that deck and trying to perfect it. And Insane was just the person who played it the best and got to rank one with it.
Yeah, I think seeing him on Sierra now is very interesting. One of these uniques we've seen so far is pretty similar to what you would want for bug fix. It kind of makes a lot of sense to attempt it in Sierra if you
God.
consider her hero ability.
Yeah, I mean, these are like almost additional copies of the brass bug hive if you get them at the right moment. I
Yeah.
wonder if Insane wants them this early, but as is, this is kind of a scary setup. If he plays a landmark, these Copelias are boosting each other as well because they are robots. So it's very potent what Insane is doing here, but they are down in Expedition. And talking about the other hero that we're seeing, Basira is all the hot stuff right now. I feel like everyone's trying Basira. All of my test games, I keep running into Basira all the time.
Yeah, coming off of winning a qualifier, that means you're gonna see a increase in I'm just seeing these 3 Capellias all being out at the same time and seeing
Oh,
immediately the table chat picking up. They are speaking French. I won't click through and try to translate a bunch. I believe this one though is Mochi saying something about how that was very fast to get the uniques.
yeah, I
uh,
mean, he hasn't played any non-yellow cards yet. Insane might have an illegal deck registered with only uniques in it. We don't know
39
yet.
Capellias.
39 Capellius. Alright, the 39 Capellia Fury is very short-lived. But the reason this third unique is so insane in this situation is because it will remove fleeting from the other Copelias, which means that these Copelias are gonna come back again because of their effect. So the only thing missing from this equation is a Haven. Was it the Haven? I should know this. I've played this card a lot. The one that removes fleeting,
Oh,
or
yeah. I
for this
mean,
third unique, and then these are never ever leaving play.
yeah. I feel like I mean, I can literally visualize the whole card in my head, but I am also now
Let me
collectively
find it.
forgetting the card name as well. Yeah, this is
Bravos Vanguard. I saw it
Vanguard.
incorrectly. That's why
Yeah.
I couldn't think of it.
This setup is insane right now.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yep. Notably though, I'm gonna pop over to the bracket just real quick. Uh, Insane is not undefeated in this tournament, so it is looking insanely overpowered right now. But I think, as you were mentioning, they kind of tandem on each other. So if you get them in the wrong order or they get removed, it might be that this deck falls apart. But As of right now, very cool.
Yeah, I mean, if your entire strategy is getting these free uniques in play simultaneously, then, you know, you will have consistency issues, but, if you get it, you get it. I'm
You
curious if Insane can win this game without playing a single landmark and hence playing without a hero ability,
yeah.
but I don't know if Insane's gonna go for it, but that would be pretty exciting.
You gotta have the, brass bug hive just to continue all of the boosts.
Well, that or you just play robots as characters, right?
True.
Because I think they're all when robot joins your expedition unique. I know there's one token. Okay. Yeah, so most likely Insane is gonna go for some kind of landmark setup. Yeah, it's funny because this Copelia setup, it was actually something I was considering a lot for sub hash decks. Not this one in particular, but Copelias that remove fleeting from each other. And I quite like the one that removes fleeting that Insane has, as it does also boost.
Yep.
Is very strong.
There it is.
Yeah,
There
there it is indeed.
boosts
And
on boosts
that's
on boosts.
yeah, that's gonna remove fleeting from both of the uh, two old Copelia uniques, or the first two we saw being played, and just create an absolute metric ton of boosts everywhere.
All right, let's see how long they can live and what they can get up to boosts wise. What the highest stat expedition insane ends up with. Basira definitely has to have some sort of removal coming out quick, or this is just going to continue to snowball.
I don't know if there's much, even with removal. I mean, there's specifically hunger that even does anything at this point. Because if even if you have removal, you get rid of one of these Copelias. If you get rid of Copelia, just grasp about it on next. And Copelia's being play it your own for a while, so you need four remove things on, and then you're not being the 277 breaths to be deal with.
Yeah, yeah, this is the perfect scenario here for insane. Looking at the clocks, it looks like Mochi took a little extra time to think and see if there was really any hope coming out here. I do like this spirit wielder coming out is
Mhm.
going to allow the Basira to move. Gnome School, if you need some Bravos uniques, I don't have any super amazing, but maybe we can make some deals, some trades to make your dreams not be memes or something.
Oh god. I have to say about him, this is brutal.
Yeah, it is entertaining to watch this plan unfold and work out. We Chili and I talked a little bit about the event over the weekend and talked a little bit about the frustrations with the chess clock. You've run tournaments, you've played in tournaments. What are your feelings on how the chess clock currently works on BGA?
I think clock is really the dev always in the details, right? Like people very are mad, very small thing. The system like mostly work. I a big improvement may implement on some would be to just reach negative to immediately then it's very clear. Like and every player kind of stands the fact know why they and it's a viable way of the game. the way it is, I think the frustration is that is not like really defined, ambiguous playing for playing time and I think most of the comes from. But I think overall it worked fairly well. It, it's for tournament because you really vary levels of tournament as a tournament. You have no interfering and bug or anything. Yeah, it definitely tough, but I consider it's
Yeah, I think there is another side to consider. I think a lot of people are calling for if you reach zero or go to negative, then you lose. I also think at the same time, though, people are not prepared for when that might actually happen. Um, and my guess is a lot more people will be upset if that is enabled than how it is currently. If in like the most perfect world, what I would want is how it works now, but there is very specifically a 100% always the same amount of overflow. And that is something we can say. Because right now there are a handful of variables which, while in general, the overflow is about 5 minutes extra. So each match can go to 35 minutes. There are certain things that cause that extended time to actually be shortened and also abruptly just end if the table started late and the round is ending entirely or something like that. But
hmm. Uh, me on yours because I feel the people are saying very loud talking.
yeah, which is very interesting because you sound perfect to me. So let me shut off your source and re-enable it.
All
Maybe
right.
it's the connection from video into OBS doing that. Because I'm hearing you through video, so let me see.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, I think plays really on the does stand finicky of the times and kind of accept it. So I think once in a while you went from some to the sea. On some level, it's understandable. On another, level, still a fair game. Nothing is going to run quickly. That's well.
Yeah, I think the other side of it is a lot of the time people are connected into their game. And I don't think people are lying. I think they're just not realizing that they actually are taking as much time as the timer says.
Mm,
And I mean, Runefolk kind of is able to prove that very easily. It's not the amount of buttons you have to click. Trust me. When you are negative 2 minutes, we can see your thinking time graph. There are times where you were sitting there without doing a move for a minute.
mhm. Yeah, like 10 things sounds just like a short, but then when you're about the amount of time, that feels like a longer. Honestly, like you thinking process easy take just to vary lines and
Mhm.
possible what can happen. And by if you're consistent doing that, you are going to run time at a game. There are team decisions in the game of at least really. It's tough, tough.
Yeah. I am going to refresh video on my side. Every third word is missing. Okay. I'm gonna just refresh this and I'll be right back, freeloader. You stay where you're at. We'll try this first.
Uh, I can also just say every word 3 times there. I'm sure it'll help.
Alrighty. Can you hear me, freeloader?
I hear you.
One other thing you should try is you should try leaving the voice chat that you're in Discord.
Uh, uh,
All right. Let me know, chat. Let us know if freeloader is no longer messing up sound wise. Hopefully that'll fix it because alternatives are not as great. But yeah, Runefolk, we did say your name. We said you're a lovely person and it's nice to see you.
only Twitter on lagging itself is lagging.
Yeah, there's something wrong with
Beautiful.
like servers out in the world. It's not anything on either of our ends. Notably though, it's fine in the United States, so USA number
Wait, what did
one.
I say? What she said, just play a and then main pattern with it.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Oh, it was Lano, so they didn't really mean which stat on either
Yep. And there goes their pretty Capellias.
in the wow. I did not expect here to any kind of a this game, but it's first the Arcala last turn playing the this turn. They actually got for now. Still need to with this turn 1-0 to be alive, but there's a better chance than I was expecting to get. The issue should I try to join?
Yeah, I guess now the next option is you leave and refresh and rejoin and see if that works.
Or be right. All right, I'm back.
Yeah, what's weird is they say that they can hear me just fine, and my audio is also actually technically routed through video as well. Like you guys aren't hearing my mic put into OBS, if that makes any sense to anyone who knows how to run these things. So Freeloader and I essentially have the same setup and hear each other perfectly fine without any like disruption at all. Whatever's going on in the world, especially in European countries, is like weirdly messing with things.
Yeah, seems odd. A little better.
Oh dang, this very barely was insane able to recover from that hunger and come back with a win here. Let
Yeah, still
me
in mass in bank.
yeah.
I'm guessing it's still my audio is not great. It's better for you to solo because we quite miss the audio completely broken.
Yeah, let us know in chat now if Freeloader is sounding better. If not, I'll have to tank the last two rounds myself. Yeah, I don't know what is happening, but I know that even YouTube is reporting like a high amount of errors in Germany specifically. I know there was someone in here earlier who checked like the, uptime whatever checker. So tell us a story, freeloader.
Uh, as I recently made a YouTube video like Thursday or I talk about how good. Well, I talk Kojo deck. That is how act physics really good, and roboting. Not sure. Anyway, physical
Ah,
training's a really hard though.
all right. Well, it was great to have you for a moment.
Hey, I'm
If you
sorry.
want to go appeal to your embassy or something and ask them why internet is ruined over there right now, that would be great.
Yeah, I'll go. In that case, good. Sorry, with the stream. Anyway,
All right. Thanks, Freeloader. Have a good day.
farewell.
All right. Now you're stuck with just me. It is only me and the bassist. What do you guys want to talk about? The very unfortunate thing is I kind of have to go to the bathroom now. uh Yeah. I mean, now that I'm on this screen, let's see. Uh I'm just going to use Germany as an example. Germany servers. Let's see. Uh, let's go to news. Um, see. Maybe not specific enough. YouTube servers status. Yeah, those Capellias being all set up was super great. So yeah, if I'm looking from my end, it shows that YouTube servers are reachable, but that's coming from a US based site. If I look at the comments, it says Denmark is down, Poland is down, Romania is down, Ukraine is down. So let's see, European server issues. Um, let's see here, news. I think it's just like too broad and weird of a thing to like find what is really going on, but it seems like a ton of European countries are having server issues by far. Usually what happens is like a cloud service provider or something will have an issue, and that cloud service provider provides for a ton of different companies. So then any company that is on that service will then have issues. So that is what I'm assuming is happening. Um, Based on looking around and our experience and comments. So yeah, yeah. It's just really interesting that it's like literally all of Europe, not just Germany, which is interesting. So, but I will give you guys a game to watch as we refresh here. You've been fine for the full stream? Yeah, because I'm in the US, so we don't have any issues in the US right now. Anyone outside of the US is having troubles with multiple services, including watching the stream. So we are about to go into round 5. Like there's a game that is just barely ending. So yeah, we can sit and chat here for another second. That happens when everyone complains about bug fixes. YouTube listens and stops bug fixing. Uh, Look up how much traffic goes through Frankfurt. You'll know why. I believe it. Someone needs to send a technician out to Frankfurt real quick then. Also, can you guys stop having so many good conversations in the main Discord when I'm busy? Like, what the heck? How is everyone in chat that can hear me though? How was your weekend? How have your altered games been? What are you going to play at the Tumult? I think I have some hard decisions to make. I almost want to pick what deck I'm going to take based on who else is going to be there. Um, but out of Muna or Lyra, I think I want the bassist more than the Fox. Just because I actually play bassist fairly often. Let's see. This game hasn't moved as much, but it's very, very near the end. I'll give you just a look at it. We have an Akesha in SBTFU Naka versus Gregu. What's weird is my YouTube like chat widget for OBS is not working, but just popping out the YouTube chat works fine. I may try the deck that I got 7-3 in the WQ. Yep, WCQ. BGA, do it. Yeah, 7-3 is really good. It seems like it would be really good for a tumult. Think I'll only be able to attend one single tumult, so alternative is my ramp Asia deck. Looks like Ben was able to take it here. I was wondering if there was going to be a discard down issue for a second, but they did it very quickly. So I didn't really get to talk about it when Chili and I mentioned it, because he said that he would prefer if you didn't have to discard down at the end of the game, um, because people forget and lose. I am pretty sure, though, that the game designers have specifically said that they won't change that. And if it's not as obvious why now, I think it might be because of something coming in the future, or it's just a disconnect from the end of the game rules that they put in place and certain procedures in BGA. I don't know. But we see Runefolk here on Basira. How can you play Hostage Basira? What the heck? This will be interesting. Against Baba Mavs 90 on Fen. Could be a really interesting matchup here. I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick and enjoy this play-by-play as I will be right back. All right. Okie dokie, okie dokie. What have we seen? Neck and neck. There's nothing in Runefolk's discard. Oh no. What is this man's doing? What are you ramping towards? Very luckily, though, BGA is working for everyone in European countries. Or else this event would be a lot different. All right, we have an Aclute. We have a Ozma. See here. Discards. Discards. Ben is going to be the first player. Very interesting sequence of events. Oh gosh. Double discount to play the magical training before the Aclute comes out. I was gonna say it's gonna be interesting to see how they work around the Aclute here. Playing a magical training for 2 mana is not too bad. Um, maybe playing a double discount. Yeah, if there's something similar to Hostage in Basira, it's a clue. I also have a tiny little Aclute corgi. Uh they all laughed at me. No one wanted to buy it. So I guess it's not as good as I thought. It seems like there is like some very slight little lag on BGA though. I'm hoping it does not get hit with everything else. Because that Talarian skater kind of glitch skated out instead of smoothly. Yeah, so it's whenever a character you control gains fleeting, you may exhaust a target card. And so I just run fleeting removal, Pathfinder, things like that with it. And as long as I can keep cycling it, it is pretty strong. And it costs less than a clue. All right. Very interestingly as well, Runefolk is taking more time to play Basira than Hostage Waru or Akesha or whatever else that absolutely has a lot more clicks. I think there's also an occlude effect when a character you control gains a boost. I feel like I might have something like that, but I think it's just in the wrong faction. Let me take a look. I feel like I need to pour back over all of my uniques and see if there's something that I've missed that I kind of want to build with. Um, that or it's been a while since I've done like a unique search on the market just to find something fun. So oh yeah, so I haven't a clue, but what it is when I gain one or more boosts, you may discard a card from your reserve and then you may exhaust, which is too much. It is semi interesting because from anywhere you may put a card in reserve and it gains 2 boosts. Um but it's just a little too wonky. The clue is asleep. Honestly, though, if there's another way for Basira to keep getting boosts on this, like physical training on Ozma to get a move instead, or just physical training in general, or other things, it's really scary to keep a clue out because it can just be a target for that continued exhaust. A lot of resources spent by Fen to secure that one advancement, and now they're going to have to discard one of the Hathors. Yeah, or I have a sneezer shroom that is when I gain one or more boosts. If you have 2 or more cards in reserve, you may exhaust target card. The sneezer shroom I actually try to use here and there because other than that, it also has characters you control have tough 1. Characters other than me you control have tough 1. I have that one in a toxic shrooms deck. Yep, let's Runefolk now has the perfect answer to this entire reserve if they so choose. What is this? When a card leaves your reserve during the afternoon, I gain 1 boost. Oh, why put the physical training out on this Occlute when you can play an Occlute from hand and do it? Snoozer Shroom. Yes. Yes, Snoozer Shroom. I don't know what I said. Yeah, so it's a 3 from hand, 3 from reserve, 3/3/0. Each character you control other than me is tough 1. And when I gain 1 or more boosts, if you have 2 or more cards in reserve, you may exhaust target card in reserve. And then it has the support ability to put something to sleep as well. Now that I'm thinking about it, be interesting to make a floor deck with that. So maybe that's something I'll do soon. All right, what are we seeing here though? 1 mana double move for freeloader or Runefolk. I was just talking to freeloader. I heard sneezer and I was like, oh, yeah, sneezer, snoozer. I do mix them up from time to time, just talking casually. Yeah, that's a fun practice. Just go back through your entire unique collection and kind of see what you have maybe chilling in there. See if you can think of any creative solutions, stuff like that. Yeah, I think a clue here is just okay. This is a little bit of a nice tech here to get around it a little bit. Unfortunately, since there's one in the expedition, if another boost comes out, that Hathor is also going to be exhausted. Oh no, you got to use the Hathor first. It's so dangerous. Luckily, it seems like there's no boosts coming out from Runefolk. When a card leaves your reserve, I gain 1 boost, so they got away with it. When a card leaves your reserve during the afternoon, I gain 1 boost. So that worked out very well, but was also a very risky play to hold on the Hathor. Another Chiron or something like that, Tolarian Skater, physical training, would have locked down the reserve there. I think there's a path for the Fen to hold off a loss right here. The 5 in Forest is maybe going to be the hardest. But once they use the discount from this Will-O-Wisp, it's going to boost up both of these uniques. Interesting. They're going to be just barely short. I'm wondering if there was a better way to do that, but that's a lot of decisions to make there to move things around. I did not have enough time to fully look at it, but well played to Runefolk. Seemingly a very traditional Basira list, but with a good amount of ramp. Maybe get to Occludes faster. Maybe have a hunger in your back pocket if you need it. We'll be very interested to see what the full deck is if we have a chance to see it again or in the future. All right, so Spartacus is undefeated and Kruskulls is undefeated. And let's see, Belteshazzar not undefeated. Trying to see if there's any players that are kind of on the edge. But we'll go to table 4 here. Lost to Belteshazzar. 1-4, doing great. Good job, Gus. Okay, Belteshazzar is number 2 in America, so not too shameful to lose to him. Whole deck is just a copy paste from the winner yesterday. Well, shoot. Here I thought you were doing some Runefolk speciality or something, but tired of hijinks, just wants to win, it seems. Um, so you only have 2 uniques in the deck, right? I can say I've actually never net decked. Um, which is not really a brag because, you know, I'm at 100 elo. But I've just never really done it. Runefolk has made me a deck before, and I still play that from time to time. But that's it. Did I buy his unique? No, not me. Maybe it was Runefolk all along. One of the AQZ guys trying to win out in the qualifier. It's the mystery of the season who bought the unique. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I didn't think about it until he mentioned it on the interview yesterday when we got to talk to him after. I just thought that someone happened to see the type of unique that was doing well and searched and ended up just buying it. But he mentioned it could have also been possible that someone found that exact unique, saw that it was for sale, and was like, well, if I buy this, they might be in big trouble and have issues in top cut. So it could have been nefarious, but I don't know. And my headset just died for some reason. Maybe it's because it's not detecting any other sounds now that there's no one talking to me. I've been told that the person who bought it didn't know it was played in the qualifier. That's kind of just what I assumed. So, but hello, Beady Boo. Thank you. Hope you're doing well. Um, yeah, we've had some issues today, servers in the world or whatnot, but I'm glad some of you are still here to hang out and everything. So, made a deck closer to a player named Is Rinku. I thought they had good rare picks weeks before they won the tournament. Yeah, Rinku's all right, I guess. There, he's an okay player. Okay, I actually don't even really know why I need my headset on. There is no sounds going into it. I mean, I guess I could play some music very low for myself. I just heard that it did um beep off. I actually don't even know what the unique was specifically. I think it was a spy unique that sabotaged, but I don't know in what way, shape, or form. Yeah, no, Rinku's great. It was nice to talk with him and meet him in Dallas. And then he also did the stream of last AWOL with me. That was AWOL, right? On Wednesday, I think. Time, man. And I actually highly recommend going back and watching that VOD. He has a lot of really great insight and some really interesting ways to look at the game and strategize that I have not heard other people explain before. So, exhaust wars have begun. What's up, Batusai? I heard something back about the Magping, by the way, uh, from Nick and them. And now I forgot what the update was, and I don't know if Chile knows specifically. No adventure pass today? There should be. Let me ask Simon. I can't see the tournament chat unless I join the tournament. The stats of Fen win out, so they're in the final situation. It's a very clutch moment to play a Hatter instead of use it for anchoring. And then the Nazi. Very cool. So it's about my nap time. Nick was going to post it. I was talking to I was talking about the Magping Hoarder that I believe Batusai gave Nick to give to me to give to Wookie. Um yeah, they were roboting out because of whatever is happening in the world right now. As in mail. Oh, okay, okay. All right. If I need to bug Wookie to get his address, let me know. Eh, well, never mind, there is. Okay, yes. Okay, cool. Awesome. I don't have to bug Simon then. Let's see here. Got most tables finished. Let me check this one here and see how much life is left in it. We should finally have another episode of Altered Corner come out tomorrow. Let me check with Wookie. All right. Yeah, I had a connection issue to the table, and then getting in. Oh my gosh. I'll show you this end though. Tasia versus Traced. Can't even let Tasia win in. Did Tasia just give up though? Interesting. Maybe they saw with the amount of cards in hand, the Frankenstein being right here, they had no chance. So Gaten did win there. We should be going into the next round. All right, so we have Gaten versus Crust Skulls for the number one spot here. We'll get this loaded in. Have you seen the Lindaway player going crazy with recycling? No, but I can envision the setup. Nick is going to mail the Magpeng to Wookie. And then I said, I think we should have an episode finally tomorrow of Altered Corner. So you said the word standings. Organic. There you can see the standings for the event over the weekend. Oh, they're playing Runefolk. I'll pull both up. 2 games at once is usually something I do at Ace, but we'll do it on AWOL. Give a little bit of that crossover love. Pretty straightforward chronicler here, nothing too insane. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. All right, so far we have a very normal Lindaway match here. Nothing too wild with hijinks yet. Playing the Hathor out instead of using it to pick back up the magical training, though. That's the first sus. What's going on there? All right, we have a unique Trailblazer. Ooh, 1 boost per fleeting character. And then go ahead and get a boost right on that tiny Jin. And then self-satisfy the 2 or more boosted characters, draw a card. That's pretty cool. It might be that Runefolk is just able to go too fast for this Lindaway to do any kind of wild setup. Big old Blade Dancer. Yeah, 0 mana for the Lindaway right here could end up being very dangerous. Interested to see if Runefolk just takes the 1 advancement, continues to ramp. 'Cause to play out the Trailblazer to draw a card now, but you wouldn't get the advancement. Ooh, does neither. Interesting. I mean, takes the 1 advancement, but, does not play out the Trailblazer just yet. But is zooming along the tumult. Let me check in on the other game. This game is just kind of going a little slower and more calculated. But we see another Basira using the rare physical training, the tiny gins, maybe another inspired by Giacomo's deck. Uh, we may never know. You could have wished for an animal to become the token in Muna. What would you have wished for? So instead of the woollyback, or in the future, maybe also in addition to the woollyback. Um, I don't know. I like. I love so many different kinds of animals, and I really like butterflies. We already have moths. I think it'd be cool if Muna had a butterfly. I think that could be super cool. But I think more so than a specific animal, I wanna see, like, a specific mechanic in Muna where something starts off like a seedling or something, and it grows and becomes bigger, and it's entirely possible to where if it stayed around long enough, it could actually, like, grow into something else. Um, I think there's definitely the mechanics available for it in the game. So maybe something that's like a 1/1 seedling with tough 1, and if it stays in expedition for 3 days, it grows into a tree or something like that. It would have to have eternal though, yeah. I think that would be super cool. Other animals, I mean, I really like hyenas. Uh, there's already like dogs and cats and moths. Um, there's like gophers and stuff. Spider. I'd actually really like to see a spider. I made a spider card once somewhere in my folder. Yeah, yeah, I have seen butterflies and moths and stuff come out of a chrysalis. Uh I tried to save one time, but I think I was a little too late. I think the pod got a little too damaged. Um but I would love to do it one day if I could grab one that was seemingly in trouble but not disturb it, and then help it metamorphosize or whatever you want to call it. Because there's like a lot of things around here that will eat them. All right, let's see. What do we got going on here? So when you play a spell resupply, you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, the next card you play this afternoon costs 1 less. Oh, look, the next spell you play this afternoon costs 1 less. I think we're seeing BGA catch up. Oh boy. All right, all 3 out here at once. Here is what you guys wanted to see on stream. Is this retribution for the crimes that Runefolk has committed? I'm pretty sure Pratatoskier said just on Thursday they have never ever seen Aurora be played. Well, someone get the Rat Prat on the phone. Aurora is right here in this deck. I used to get a few caterpillars as a kid and care for them until they became butterflies. Yeah, yeah. Really would like to see Arachne one day, a cute spider like in Hades 2. I haven't played Hades 2 yet. I did play Hades 1. Um, I've been playing Monster Train 2 though. I need to get on the Hades too. Bam, bam, bam. On 6 mana, winning the game. Yep. Is there any way that it stops right here, or all of the discounts and all of the loops? See, I think literally the only reason that this deck hasn't been targeted yet is either people are very careful about how often they play it, or it's so inconsistent that it doesn't go off enough. Because this is probably the first time I've seen it in like at least a month. Um, but very obviously, this is the kind of thing that Equinox does not want happening. Is it enough time to loop it though? This person could never play this deck in person or in AQZ Blitz. I just saw your meme that you posted, Gnome School. That's great. How do you feel about this situation, Runefolk? What are your thoughts? Also, it's now on the most popular English stream channel in Altered, so don't worry. The Altered police will be at that person's door in a couple days. I can't stay for far too long. This was stupid AF. So why is it different than um Hostage or other decks you have made? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just genuinely interested in your thoughts. Oh, far too long. It's an infinite on 6 mana. It's a win on 6 mana. I mean, I guess, but I mean, technically, when you get your setup, you expect to win by the other people conceding, right? What about Festival as well? Festival wins on less than 6 mana. I think Equinox should train an AI to find broken unique combinations. Maybe. Yeah, so from my conversation with like people who make a hostage deck or view it as okay, I guess is another way to say it, is their thought process is that when the opponent realizes that there's no winning the game, they should realize that the game is over because they were not able to stop the setup, and they should just concede. But because at that point, if they don't concede, then they are the one that's actually hostaging the game. Um, that's how it's been explained to me. But nice little win here from Basira. Looks like that very straightforward Basira list. In the trace list, we see some usual stuff, and then a rare Merlin. I think there have been a couple people in the community and in the game that have teched in maybe just one Merlin just in case. It is my nap time. My partner is actually home right now too, and I can go join them and my dog. Oh, this game just ended. LJ Alks. So I have no idea how to even try to say that in Polish. Alkez. That's not Polish. That's just me trying to pronounce it. Uh, fancy. Um, Hopefully they didn't forget that they have to make a decision for their mighty Jin. They're like fully offline according to the little bubble. It's not Polish, but Alkez would be good. Opponent just left. It's from Latin. Oh, okay. Means moose. That's cool though. I like it. I was also saying earlier in the tournament how I like your logo, your little profile picture there. Or Al says, since it's a C. I'll look up the pronunciation so I can get it right next time. I'm probably to blame here because I forgot to write GLHF. No, no. They either didn't realize they had to make an action or they got upset. When it gets down to them being negative and it gives you the option to kick them, just go ahead and do that. And it'll end the game if they don't make a move after 20 seconds. With the hard K is how I pronounce it. Okay, cool. All right, I got it. I got it. I'm good. That's basically gonna be the end of the tournament here. We have a couple that are just going to the end of time, but your undefeated players are Bev A1 and Kruskulls. So they will absolutely certainly be the first and second place. Plenty of time to reconnect. Sure is. It sure is. I am going to hop off. I need to clock out from work as well. And um Wednesday there will be another stream. I will not be there, but there will be some great casters. And then this week end is my tumult, and then I think I have a 1 weekend break, and then it's the North American PGA qualifier, I believe. So I'll be around. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate you and your time. Sorry to all the issues. It was definitely some weird kind of server disruption somewhere in the world. Yeah, for sure. I try to pronounce things correctly whenever I can. So see ya next time.